This is the first draft concept thumbnail to a video I never completed.
Whoops.
Okay, yeah. So in August 2023, I started working on a video where I ranked every MLS MVP, kind of in the same style where I ranked every MLS Cup. Oh, and look at that. I still have my notes on this video. Let's see who I picked as the worst MVP. Amado Guevara in 2004. 24 games played, 10 goals, 10 assists.
What?
I mean, no offense, Amado Guevara. I know you were a baller back in the day, but you get MVP with 10 goals and 10 assists? Dude, Messi gets those numbers in like 8 games now. So why didn't I finish it? Well, for one thing, I tore my ACL, and that made doing anything a lot harder, and I also started a brand new career and had a hard time figuring out how to find time to work on videos. Pretty soon, the 2023 season ended, and Lucho Acosta won MVP, and it was like, shit, now I gotta figure out how to work him in the script, and then pretty soon the 2024 season started, and I was like, this ain't happening.
But the thing is, I still like this idea for a video, and I'm bummed out I never got to finish it. And I mean, making a video about, who's the best player ever to play in MLS, that's kind of pointless. We all know who that is. We all agree that it's Bill Gaudette.
This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated.
Maybe you can argue Messi, I guess. And also, making a video about who had the best career in MLS, that's also kind of pointless, because we all know it's Donovan with his 6 MLS Cups. But who had the single best season in MLS? Now that's a conversation worth having. Who was the guy that not only had the numbers, but also won the trophies and also had the biggest moments of that season? It is time to finish this long overdue video. It's time to figure out who had the best season in MLS history.
But first, let's give out some honorable mentions. 2000, Tony Meola, the only keeper ever to win MLS MVP. 16 shutouts, the record for most shutouts in a season, and that's a record that is a quarter of a century long, and to be honest, it is hard to see anyone topping that anytime soon. 5 shutouts in 7 playoff games, including a shutout in the MLS Cup final. Truly the best season any keeper has had in this league. 2015, Sebastian Giovinco. 33 games played, 22 goals, 16 assists. Just complete domination from a very, very small man. We've seen some people score a bunch of goals. We've seen some people dish out a bunch of assists, but never both in the same season. The only problem? He didn't get it done in the playoffs. Donuts in both categories, as TFC was eliminated quickly. 2019, Carlos Vela. It was like Giovinco's season, but on steroids. 31 games played, 34 goals, 15 assists. This was video game numbers. Like, I did not believe it was possible for anyone on the planet to ever put these kind of numbers up in MLS. He also wasn't a scrub in the playoffs or US Open Cup either, putting up 2 goals and 1 assist in both of those. But despite a Supporters Shield win, LAFC ultimately fell short in the playoffs and didn't even make it to MLS Cup. And now we move on to the best of the best, the 4 greatest single seasons in MLS history. You can legitimately make an argument for any one of these guys, and I would not blame you for believing differently than me. Starting with 2002, Carlos Ruiz. Yeah, I might have hated him while he played, but I can't deny he was unbelievable in 2002. 26 games played, 24 goals, 1 assist, including, 8 goals, 2 assists in 6 playoff games, including the game winner in MLS Cup, giving the LA Galaxy their first MLS Cup ever. 2002, kind of a weird time in MLS. The league just contracted 2 of its teams, and the league was extremely close to folding. The originals of 1996 were starting to age out, and it was time for a new crop of stars. And Carlos Ruiz was the first star of MLS 2.0, or MLS 1.5, or whatever the fuck era you want to call it. 2008, Guillermo Barros Schelotto. Yeah, good thing this isn't a video about his coaching tenure in MLS, because, yeah, not great. But in 2008, he was unstoppable. 27 games played, 7 goals, 19 assists, including 6 assists in the playoffs, which included 3 assists in MLS Cup. Maybe the single greatest MLS Cup performance ever. And that chip to Frankie Hayduk just, 2014, Robbie Keane. Beckham was gone and Donovan was retiring at the end of the season. This was truly Keane's team now, and boy, did he deliver. 29 games played, 19 goals, that's a hell of a lot of somersaults, and also 14 assists and 2 goals and 3 assists in the playoffs, including the game winner in MLS Cup. Not that this should really go into the ranking, but I feel like it's worth mentioning. The guy was 34 years old and coming off an Achilles surgery in 2013. Like, everyone knew how good Robbie Keane was, but even still, he wasn't supposed to be this good. Robbie Keane, 2014, the second best season in MLS history. Because that honor of best season in MLS history goes to 2018, Joseph Martinez. 34 games played, 31 goals, 6 assists. Those 31 goals breaking the record for most goals scored in a regular season. A record that had stood since 1996 when Roy Lassiter put in 27. Bradley Wright Phillips and Chris Wondolowski would also tally up 27 goal seasons, but it was always a thing. When would someone score 28 goals? Never did we expect someone to smash that record, to absolutely obliterate it by scoring not 28, not 29, not 30, but 31 goals. And, okay, yeah, turns out that record, unbelievably, only stood for 1 season, as Carlos Vela did his thing in 2019, scoring 34 goals. But Joseph Martinez's 2018 went far beyond just the regular season. 4 goals, 1 assist in the playoffs, including the game-winning goal, an insurance assist in MLS Cup Final. Obviously, he was named MLS Cup MVP, and no, just because that wasn't enough, he also scored in the MLS All-Star Game and was named All-Star Game MVP, which also happened to be held in Atlanta that year. His 3 hat tricks, also tying a record for most hat tricks in a season. Like Joseph Martinez in 2018, he did it all. He got every Xbox achievement in 1 season. I mean, MLS MVP, MLS All-Star Game MVP, not that that means that much, but even still, MLS Cup MVP. I just remember 2018, it was all about Atlanta United. And Joseph Martinez was the focal point of that team.
I love King Joseph. He is such a beast. And I feel bad because I think this is one of the biggest what-ifs in MLS history. What if Joseph Martinez doesn't tear his ACL in 2020? I mean, I think we can all admit that since that moment, since that injury, he's not quite the same player as before. Like, he's still good, he still scores at a decent rate, but he ain't putting in 30-goal seasons anymore. And as it stands right now, at the time of this recording, he's 32 years old. He's 49 goals away from Chris Wondolowski's all-time mark of 172. Like, he's got what, 5 years left in MLS? If I had to guess, like gun to my head, if I had to make a choice, do I think he's going to get that record? Do I think he's going to break Chris Wondolowski's 172 goal mark? No, I don't. I think he gets close, but I think ultimately he falls short. And it's like, if he doesn't tear his ACL, he smashes that record. And he probably adds a couple more MLS Cups to his name as well. And then at that point, you got to start having the conversation of, oh, is he the greatest MLS player of all time? Did he have an even better career than Landon Donovan? But unfortunately, That's just not how the story unfolded. And it sucks. But at the very least, Joseph Martinez, you could say that you had the single best season in MLS history.